Sherry Claus, followed by Dr. Mitch Capchi. Thank you. And followed by Dr. Michael Miller. Sherry?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm Sherry Claus, Chair of the Arts Advisory Committee, Chair of the Santa Clarita Master Chorale, and a resident of Santa Clarita for the last 30 years. It is my privilege to speak with you tonight about the proposal of forming an arts commission in our city. As an active participant in the arts community, I have witnessed the growth of cultural arts groups, events, and opportunities over these many years, and wish to express, on behalf of the arts organizations that I represent, as well as my own personal thanks and appreciation to our City Council and our city staff for all that has been done to expand and support cultural arts here in Santa Clarita. It is clear that you understand the contribution that a vibrant cultural arts program makes to Santa Clarita being where the good life takes you. Tonight, we have several people who are active in the arts community who will be sharing information and insights and experience that supports the formation of an arts commission. You will note that there are several people in the audience wearing red. These people are artists, representatives of art organizations, and citizens who also support the formation of an arts commission. We believe that the creation of an arts commission is the next step that is needed to ensure that Santa Clarita continues to be a city where cultural arts thrive and its citizens, from school children to senior citizens, can enjoy and benefit from comprehensive, high-quality cultural arts programming. So all that to say that the Arts Advisory Committee proposes that the council approve the formation of an arts commission and create a task force comprised of council members, Arts Advisory Committee members, and a Los Angeles County Arts Commission representative to define the structure, the operational parameters, member qualifications, and funding requirements of the City of Santa Clarita Arts Commission. We propose that there be a timeline of a task force report by November 18th and Arts Commission appointments by January 15th. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Sherry. Dr. Mitch Capchi? I apologize about the last name, sir.
That's all right. My writing is bad. I'm Mitch Capay, the Assistant Superintendent for College of the Canyons and a member of the Arts Advisory Group for 3 years. And this was the only thing red I had other than a Santa Claus suit, so I thought I would wear this. I want to compliment the staff because they've been very helpful to me. I've been here 3 years, but I am speaking in opposition to a long study. And I'm being very pragmatic about this in that I've been an arts commissioner, I've been a film commissioner for a county, and it makes a difference in when you go to funders and ask for money. Grassroots organizations are great, but they don't impress corporations. I was a grant reader for the Rockefeller Brothers Fund, for the California Arts Council, and I really know what we were looking for. I tried to think of something that would put it in perspective for you. I want you to imagine that before you were elected, you came to City Hall and you asked a question. You probably got a nice answer. But I bet after you got elected, you got a better answer. It's the same type of thing. An arts commission has more weight in the world of grants. And the city, we're ready for this. I love being on the Arts Advisory Committee. I've been there 3 years, but we really haven't been asked for any strategic thinking at all. We're asked to do day-to-day operational things, and I love it. I love choosing the designs for the trash cans in Newhall. But I really think we need to move on. What is the strategic plan for the arts for this great city? As it is now, it's a subset, and we do one event after another. They're not linked together. We don't know where we're going. It's almost a knee-jerk reaction. My expectation would be that if you created a commission, you would say to them, that they are to come forward with various strategic plans that council could look at and that we could be proud of, and not just list art events as part of the community, but that art thinking is part of the community. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mitch. Next speaker is Dr. Michael Miller, followed by Paul Strickland.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, Mr. Postcamp. Wow, following Mitch Capay, that's a tough act. I'll do my best. I've been a 16-year resident of Valencia, and I serve on the Arts Advisory Committee. I am a professional musician. I'm development director of the two-time Grammy Award-winning ensemble Southwest Chamber Music. I'm a member of the music faculty at Cal Poly Pomona. I was a founding member of the board of the Santa Clarita Symphony and also served as its executive director for 2 years. I am here to support the creation of an arts commission and not just a study. I believe that the benefits of that will be to strengthen our arts infrastructure in much the same way that Dr. Capay talked about. I've seen the city come a long way. It really has since I've been here in the last 16 years. And by the way, I moved here because I performed at concerts in the park. I said, wow, this is a nice community. They value the arts, so every tax dollar that I have paid to this community is as a direct result of the city's support of the arts. And thank you for supporting the arts. And I'd like you to help us take it to the next level. The benefits of the arts, folks have talked about that. The nonprofit arts field in this country generates $155 billion in revenue every year. The arts are good business in the places that value the arts. And so it has the benefits of, as mentioned, $1 in government funding nationally generates $8 in revenue for every dollar spent. And that really means that arts work for the communities that support it. Students test better, they achieve better. The creativity that's generated on our students is fantastic. Our fourth grade musicians playing their instruments are charting motion through time. That is advanced physics, and it's happening with fourth graders. Fantastic. So this is about the quality of life. When I served with the symphony, I always ask interviewers to ask me why we're doing this. Everybody who's involved in the arts in this community, a lot of us are doing this because our kids are growing up here. This is our community. This is what we believe in. A great city values the arts. An arts commission is an indicator that a city is a great city and values the arts. It's a better place to live. It's a better place to work. It's a better place for companies to relocate to. The arts work, and I hope that you will support our establishment of an arts commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Paul Strickland, to be followed by Adam Phillipson, followed by Diane Troutman. Paul?
My name is Paul Strickland. I'm a 25-year resident of the Santa Clarita Valley, and I currently reside at 91355 Valencia. Mayor Keller, council members, Mr. Postcamp, and staff, I rise to speak tonight not as an elected school board member, although I always seem to be wearing that hat, but I come as a longtime advocate for the arts. I came to California as an actor and wound up having a 30-year career in animation. I worked my way up through the ranks of polishing cells in the camera department at Hanna-Barbera to being a producer at Marvel, Saban, Fox Family, ABC Family, and vice president of production at Universal Cartoons. I currently host a live radio show on KHTS AM 1220 about the arts. I write 2 monthly political columns for The Signal. I have acted in many plays at the Canyon Theater Guild as well as COC's Performing Arts Center. I have served on the City of Santa Clarita's Arts Advisory Committee for 8 years, 3 of which as chairman, and I am currently termed out, but I'll be back. My life is all about the arts. Santa Clarita needs an arts commission now. I also speak tonight as a board member of the SCV Theater Project, which is a nonprofit professional theater operating under a contract with Actors Equity Association. It has been a great pleasure to be a part of the cultural development of Santa Clarita and to help bring the professional arts to this community. Supported by over 100 local sponsors in the city of Santa Clarita, the Theater Project has provided 2 very active and successful years of professional theater to our home, the Santa Clarita Valley. I believe the development of the professional arts in the city of Santa Clarita has potential to provide continued educational and cultural enrichment to local residents. Arts support economic growth and also attract non-residents to our valley. Statistics show that 20% of the heads of households in the Santa Clarita Valley work in the arts and entertainment industry in some capacity. It is time to take our city to the next level, and it's time now. Attendance of arts events generates related commerce for local businesses such as restaurants, parking, hotels, and retail stores. Look at the city of Pasadena as an example. Much of the success of Pasadena is because of its commitment to the arts. And over 1.5 million residents and non-residents attended cultural events in Pasadena in 2005. Not counting the cost of admission, they spent an average of $25 per person for a total of $40 million in 1 year that year in Pasadena. The ancillary arts commerce in the entire U.S. in the same year of 2005 amounted to $103 billion. As a student of art history and history in general, I can attest for the importance of the arts in local communities. Let me remind you, in the hardest and darkest of times, it has been art that has led mankind into the light of the future. 2008 is one of those times. Santa Clarita is the place. Give us the Arts Commission now.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Our next speaker will be Mr. Phillipson, followed by Diane Troutman, followed by Ed Red.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, City Manager, and staff and guests. I'm here tonight as a concerned and passionate member of the arts community, as the Managing Director of the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at College of the Canyons, and as a father. Tonight is a historic opportunity for Santa Clarita, and I'm honored to be here in Santa Clarita at such an exciting time. I know that many of the groups that perform at the Performing Arts Center or other venues in the city, the donors and the patrons that support us all, the residents and visitors that regularly attend concerts and plays, festivals and gallery exhibits, all share a vision of Santa Clarita where the arts and cultural activities, entertainment and education are prevalent in their lives, their work, and their schools. Santa Clarita is growing very fast, and the arts teach kids and other members of the community how to be more tolerant of one another and to express themselves in a creative fashion. I realize that there are many needs and also many difficult decisions of how to best serve this community. Coming from Santa Monica and being a member there of the Performing Arts Subcommittee of the Santa Monica Arts Commission, I can share with you my perception that the commission oftentimes ensured the sustainability of local arts groups and local culture. And that was not only through grants, but also, as Dr. Capay mentioned, by receiving major support from foundations and from government funding sources such as the LA County Arts Commission that was possible because of the actions and the planning that occurred on a citywide level and the demonstrated leadership and arts advocacy. That kind of a statement of leadership increases participation in the arts, which fuels the economic engine and the quality of life in a city. I personally have had the chance to work with most of the arts groups in town and also with the fine city staff, and I have the utmost respect for all of them and the excellent work that they're all doing. These folks are working tirelessly every day to have a better quality in all of our lives. And you can build on that foundation, the foundation that's been established, and make it clear that the arts matter to Santa Clarita. By creating a commission with many voices and many ideas, we give the arts a platform to speak from and an opportunity to flourish. And that benefits us all, and I am excited about rolling up my sleeves and getting to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phillipson. And before I let you go, sir, I'd like to remind the audience, and I know we have viewers out there as well, this gentleman has taken the Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at College of the Canyons to the next level. When we talk about the next level, sir, I can't begin to tell you how impressed I am with this season's performances that you have lined up, the ones that I've had an opportunity to attend. You're doing phenomenal work, so please express sincere accolades to all the folks associated with the Performing Arts Center. Thank you. Diane?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Diane Troutman. I'm a 15-year resident of the city. My husband is a professional puppeteer, writer, actor. My sons are artists. My husband and I met at CalArts, and we swam upstream to raise our children here. Now, the arts have intrinsic value, we know that, and you've heard some of the economic value points, but I wanted to just point out a few other things. I serve on the Arts Advisory Committee as the liaison from the Planning Commission. I say that to identify myself only. I'm not speaking for the Planning Commission, but for Arts Advisory. I want to talk about jobs housing balance. We've heard in OVOV, One Valley, One Vision, that 7,000 residents leave Santa Clarita Valley daily to work in creative jobs. Now, the number may be higher if we're only talking about that number being a count of people who are participating in the entertainment industry. But there are a lot of people who are in creative work that could be here, that's not tied with entertainment. In his book, The Rise of the Creative Class, economic development professor Richard Florida advises that cities must become talent magnets in order to succeed in today's knowledge economy. We are not the talent magnet that we could be. Many creative jobs reside outside of our valley now, but we would have a greater chance of bringing those industries and that talent into our valley if we provide the environment in which they can blossom and thrive. In terms of economic value, in the summary of key findings contained in the Cultural Arts Master Plan, the consultants made this statement: given the way that interest in arts activities outpaces most other activities, we would consider this to be a build it and they will come market. According to Americans for the Arts, nonprofit arts are a $134 billion industry. You've heard it's even more nowadays. A 2004 study of the arts in Ventura found that total art spending, including associated spending in the community, amounted to $18.6 million, created 645 jobs, and brought in $768,000 in local government revenues. On the other hand, our city and our businesses are losing money when our residents head south for a variety of arts experiences. There is a lot here, but there's a lot more that could be created here with the authority to do so. As your advisory committee, we firmly believe that an investment in the arts, elevating support to a level on par with sports activities and tourism, beginning with the creation of an arts commission, will pay big dividends as our valley continues to grow. And then in terms of community development, creating a sense of place requires that we identify and strengthen the characteristics that distinguish us from other places. That's true of both the built and environment and functions within that environment. We have been a haven for artists, and we can continue to do that. We can build upon that foundation and create a premier city for the arts. We need to develop a range and diversity of activity. To quote Americans for the Arts, visionary thinking is needed and can be sparked by giving artists and other creatives lead, not token roles in the process. Thank you. We urge you to approve an Arts Commission.
Thank you very much, Diane. Our next speaker is Ed Redd. Ed, you'll be followed by Patty Finley, followed by Scott Groller.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Herbert Redd. I serve on the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Commission. I also represent the commission on the Arts Advisory Committee. You've heard a lot tonight from a lot of gifted artists, a lot of artists in both in the visual arts and also the performing arts. And I have to tell you, when I was asked to serve on the Arts Advisory Committee, I know nothing about art. I could barely do stick figures. But I have learned a lot serving on that committee, because I've learned how important the arts is to a community. And I've heard you say many times, Mayor, that a good arts program actually enhances the quality of life to a community, and I do believe that. I've learned that serving on the commission. And I have to tell you, listening to some other people tonight, I have to agree with what was been said. We need to have a better concentration on the arts. Serving on the Arts Committee, I have found that we do struggle. We struggle to do what we have to do to support the arts, to support the artists and the arts organization. I think we can do better. I think we need to have a bigger focus on the arts. I think it is time to go to the next level as far as the arts are concerned in this community. I would like to see that happen. I would like to see an arts commission created, because I think when you talk about a committee versus a commission, you have more authority when people say, I represent the Arts Commission for the city of Santa Clarita. So I'm hoping that we can do that. I would like you have before you, I think, a comparison chart on the difference between a arts committee and the arts commission. I urge you to look this over so you get an idea of what we're trying to accomplish here in Santa Clarita. I also like to ask you to consider, excuse me, I'd like you to ask you to consider creating a arts commission that would be put together by a ad hoc committee of citizens from the Arts Advisory Committee, from the County Commission on the Arts, and a city council member. I'd like to, again, stress to you that we need to move to the next step on creating arts and supporting arts in the community.
Thank you, Ed.
Now 661 Arts for more than 10 years and a resident of Santa Clarita for more than 15. My husband and I were arguing about how long we've lived here. I would just like to say that I support the formation of an arts commission. An advisory committee is there to advise you so that you don't have to do all the research. So I ask you to please listen to the advice of your advisory committee and form an arts commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patty. By the way, what phenomenal work this lady, along with her husband back there, Greg, do in our community. Thank you very much.
I also know that Greg will never win an argument with you, so it's 15 years.
Scott Groller.
Mr. Mayor and members of the council, perhaps it would be appropriate if I reviewed for the council some limitations on your power as a general law city in the creation of an arts commission.
Carl, excuse me, could I interrupt? There are two more public speakers.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
If you would like to wait until they've completed.
I thought that was the last one.
We have two.
Thank you very much. And we'll come to you, Carl, of course. Scott Groller, and our last speaker will be Evelyn Zapano. Scott Groller, are you here? You had to leave? Okay, our last speaker, Evelyn.
I want to start by saying, microphone's scared. I want to start by saying that I'm coming from a place where these kinds of conversations are not the norm. I'm so impressed by the democratic process, and I'm impressed by these people really sharing their opinions and their advice with you and your willingness to listen. I'm just really taken and glad to be part of this process very much. My name is Evelyn Serrano. I'm here for many reasons. I'm a citizen of Newhall and Santa Clarita. I've been here for 7 years. I first came here as a CalArts student. I'm now an alumna, and I'm teaching there as well. And I'm in the staff of the California Institute of the Arts in the CAP office. I don't know if you know about that. The Community Arts Partnership Program. This is a program that creates partnerships with several constituencies here in Santa Clarita. I've had the great pleasure to work with Phil and Donna in the Arts and Events office of the city of Santa Clarita. Sorry. One of the programs that have been very, very successful lately, we have 7 different programs here in Santa Clarita. One of them is the creative writing program with Hart High School. I would like to let you know that we just received a really wonderful award from the Los Angeles County Commission on Human Relations precisely because of this partnership with William Hart High School. The best award really is not the award itself that we got from the commission, but is seeing the process that the children that participated in this program went through. I went there the first day that the class started. It's a year-long process that we went through with these kids. These kids are English language learners. A lot of them can express themselves in English, but they can't write in English. And so this program was trying to encourage them to find their voice and find their voice in a community where they're called a minority, but they're not, which is a reality in our valley with great demographic shifts that we're experiencing. So I witnessed how these children found their voice, and from going from sitting in a chair and not being willing to share their voice to taking on a crowd and talking very loud and very proud about what they thought they wanted to share with others. That was their true award for us. I really want to support this advice that we're bringing forward to you of creating a commission. Sustainability for the arts is essential. I think this commission will bring that to the city. We'll create programs that are sustainable, but also are invested in a year-long process with their constituencies. It will bring together and coordinate efforts with all of the constituencies, the assets, and the existing programs. I really hope that you listen to us, that you shorten that path from the dreaming through the implementation of the dream. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evelyn. And Evelyn was our final speaker. And Carl, may I call upon you?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and members of the council, sorry about interjecting.
No problem.
I thought the public comments were completed. As a general law city, which Santa Clarita is, it has those powers which are provided by the general laws of the state for cities. You can change the name of the Arts Advisory Committee to an Arts Commission. You can expand their functions and activities so long as they remain advisory. The only commission for a general law city that has independent powers and authority is a planning commission, and that's because it's provided for under the state planning law. All other commissions of the city are advisory to a general law city. The commissions, art commissions that function with independent authority exist in charter cities, such as Sacramento, San Diego, Newport Beach, Santa Monica, Ventura, Pasadena, Stockton. Those are all charter cities. And they can provide for commissions that have independent authority. A general law city to delegate or to give authority beyond what state law allows, that would be an undue delegation of legislative authority, which is totally vested in the city council, as I say, except for planning commissions. So I think, as I say, you can certainly establish an arts commission, but it would be still advisory in nature to the city council.
Understood. And I really did not necessarily interpret something contrary to that from our vast number of speakers. And by the way, can I tell you something? In my years here, I don't know when I have had such a lineup of eloquent speakers coming forward and voicing their position on an issue. You just did a remarkable job, and I sincerely thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come out this evening. And going back to your comments, Carl, I believe we still have the ability to create a commission.
Yes.
As you say, ultimately, they are still in advisory capacity. I don't know that we are bound to say advisory commission. I think it can be a Santa Clarita Commission, and it goes without saying in compliance with the law that it would be established along with the general law type of government.
That is correct, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Thank you, Carl. Is there anything else? Yep. That cover it? I'd like to now turn to my fellow council members for their input. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. I brought you information back. It was at the League of California Cities. There was a session, and it was the mayor of the city of Fullerton spoke very enthusiastically about the arts in her community and the fact that it brings dollars to the community. And there is a resolution in the packet I gave you, and here's one for Ken, for you, and here's one for the public if you'd like. And part of the resolution states, whereas it was found that this is from the National, United States Conference of Mayors at their 75th anniversary. And it says, where it was found that the nonprofit arts and culture industry generates $166.2 billion in economic activity annually, which supports 5.7 million U.S. jobs in communities ranging from large urban to small rural, an increase of 850,000 jobs since 2000. And it goes on to list those benefits. And it was passed, and it states that the United States Conference of Mayors supports the conclusions of the Arts and Economic Prosperity 3 study and urges mayors across the country to invest in nonprofit arts organizations, and it goes on. There is money to be had when you have a body that is totally committed to the arts, and to me, the ability of raising the level of the Arts Advisory Committee, they've done great work for what their limited resources are. Not in staff support, because our staff is fantastic with them, but I see absolutely no downside to going ahead and deciding that we're going to form a commission and don't have the staff further research the advantages and disadvantages, because as you heard from those who know, I see no disadvantages, but I would propose that we simply go ahead and ask to go ahead and state that we intend to form a commission, and then you can have staff go ahead and research how you would set forth the task force that was recommended in order to decide how we're going to choose and how many. And I say the more on this commission, the better. I don't think we want to limit it to a number that is too low. And I'm not sure that the people out there were requesting that they be an independent body being able to act outside of the purviews of this council, but simply to step it up a level so that we can go after those grant fundings that are out there. And I see no downside to this. At the Street Art Festival, there was a young family, a young man and his wife and his child. They had just moved here from Canyon Country, and he looked at the schools and he looked at everything else this community had to offer. And when he got here, he said he looked for a museum. He says in a community this size, he couldn't believe that there wasn't some sort of a museum. And I said, I really understand what you're saying, and I asked him to email me so that we can talk about to doing it. He never did, but who knows? He may in the future. But I am so much in favor of forming an arts commission that, and that's my opinion.
Appreciate your opinion. I didn't know if that was a motion that you were making, or you want to hear more comments?
Oh, we can hear more comments.
Okay.
I would entertain,
Very well.
be in favor of doing that. But
Go next, Lori. Thank you.
I am so totally impressed with all of you, and I think we close the doors and solve all the problems of the world with this group. I mean, this is really wonderful, and Mayor, you were right. I mean, the eloquence of the speakers, you just hit it. One of the things that I appreciated, Mr. Dow, was your list, a partial list, admittedly, of all of the incredible things that happen in this community in the arts. And you didn't even tap into a lot of the things that happen at the high schools and the elementary schools, and through different church groups and other, scouting groups. And it's pretty incredible. And Ms. Armstrong, I had the opportunity to meet you at the library thing, and you need to talk to Mr. Dow to get the list, because there's a lot of stuff happening here in the arts. And I'm excited and encouraged by that, and want to follow up. Paul Strickland talked about art history, which is something that I've always loved. And the good news for all of us has been proven over time, art is going to happen with or without the government. Thank goodness. So, I mean, we know that. And look at what's happened without having a commission in place. I don't have strong feelings one way or another about whether it should be a commission or an advisory committee or whatever you call it, because it's going to essentially be the same thing. My concern is going back to the long list of things that, that Sandy Fisher brought up. Great points. All of those things, everything is money. Time is money. And it doesn't matter if you have 5 people on a commission or 25 people on a commission. The reality is the bulk of the work is going to come from staff. They can have their monthly meeting, they can meet twice a month, whatever, but there's staff preparation, there's things that are going to go into that. There's going to be a dollar figure attached to that that I think has to be investigated before we go further with this. We have a great group in place, people who are very passionate about what they do. I think the biggest question to ask is, what are we not doing that we should be doing? Forget about what you call this group or renaming it. Something is missing. I mean, you talk about that you are advisory to the city council. In what way? At what time? I haven't, been here since April. I haven't seen anything come from your group. So there's one thing we need to address right now. You're working, you're doing things that needs to somehow come to us. So I think that on the bigger picture, we need to look at what's missing, what do we need to do to promote the arts. No argument that the arts are an essential element of what we need in this community. And I think another thing that we have to look at is that you're not talking about just programs that the city puts on. It's all these different groups. We have 6 different school districts, and we have all these different things. So I'm hesitant about trying to govern all of those groups and have us as the city say, this is what you need to do. These are artists. These are people who are going to, take the ball and run with it, take the paintbrush and run with it. So I think that there is some work that needs to go into it before we look to see what we do next. And to me, it doesn't matter whether we change the name or not. We need to look at, what does this group need? What do we need to do to further promote the arts? What's missing? And so I agree that I would like to see further research go into this, and not so much whether it should be called this or called that, but what do we need to do as a city to step it up, to promote the arts, and to provide the backup and the support to this organization.
Thank you, Lori.
There is a theater tradition that if you say the name of a certain Scottish play, your play will be cursed. Well, the students at Hilltop High are about to do their first musical in 10 years, and everything seems to go wrong. This comedy of errors is a madcap musical suitable for the entire family and features a cast of incredibly talented young performers. Come see Musical, The Bard is Back, running now at the Canyon Theater Guild through November 1st. See it or be forever cursed.
I vote because I have choices to make my life better. Every registered voter in California has the choice to vote in person or vote by mail in every election, or just this one. California's Vote by Mail program is one of the nation's most voter-friendly systems. 600,000 voters are expected to make their choices by mail in LA County. On or before November 4th, I will cast my vote. Go online to lavote.net to learn more about voting by mail. Vote. You count.